a CBS News special report. Good morning to you. I'm Gail King in Culberson County, Texas, along with Nora O'Donnell in Washington, D.C. Hey, Nora, it's really good to see you. Just minutes from now, Jeff Bezos is about to blast off into space in Blue Origin's first trip with people on board. Joining him, he's not going to be alone. Joining him on the New Shepard spacecraft are his brother Mark, who is 53. Jeff, by the way, is 56. Plus Wally Funk. We've all gotten to know her. She's 82. She trained with NASA in the 1960s, but she never got a chance to fly. And then there's 18-year-old Oliver Damon, who will become the youngest to fly into space. So Funk at 82 will be the oldest. Oliver will be the youngest. A short time ago, Bezos and the other passengers boarded the spacecraft and are now strapped in, and they are ready to go. Nora?
Yes, good morning to you, Gail. And their flight will last about 10 minutes. We are awaiting liftoff shortly. And we should also note this date, July 20th. And for those space enthusiasts, you will know that this is a date that is historic. Today is the 52nd anniversary of the Apollo 11 moon landing. That event inspired 5-year-old Jeff Bezos to go to space today. He idolized Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong as a child. Today, Jeff Bezos becomes an astronaut. Now, what we're seeing here is the animation that after nearly 3 minutes, this 6-passenger capsule and booster will separate. It will send the capsule over the Kármán line, the internationally recognized boundary of space. And as that happens, the reusable booster deploys its brakes and returns to Earth. And after its time in space, the capsule releases its parachutes and begins its roughly 6-minute journey back to solid ground. All exciting to watch. And joining me here is CBS News space consultant Bill Harward. He's been covering space launches for 35 years. Bill, is this risky?
Absolutely. Anytime you put people on top of a rocket, you're taking more risk than the average person, no question about it. That said, they have gone to enormous lengths to make this vehicle as safe as it could possibly be. They've tested it 15 times in flight. They've tested its abort system. They even tested it with one parachute out to make sure that they could land safely. Even in that case, all that went well. A lot of confidence this is going to work like they expect.
Gail?
Hey, Bill, let's talk about the crew. We've heard a lot about this crew, but I want to focus on 18-year-old Oliver Damon for just a second, because he's going into space before he goes into college. Think about that for just a minute. Yeah. What's the significance of that?
You know, it's interesting. I guess if it shows anything, it's that they really are trying to open space to anyone who could afford the price of the ticket. In this case, his father bid in the auction they held to it was going to go to charity to find a flyer. That auction winner had to stand down. He had a schedule conflict, and Blue Origin moved Oliver up onto this flight. He is very excited about this. He's been doing pilot training. He's clearly a space enthusiast. But at 18 years old, as someone said yesterday, you know, they were getting ready to go to the prom when they were 18, and this guy's getting ready to go to space. So it's going to be pretty exciting.
I know, Bill. I was just hoping somebody would ask me to the prom. Listen, they've had two holes so far this morning. They don't have to give an answer as to why it is on hold, but of course they're not taking anything for granted here. CBS's Mark Strausman has been covering this story from the very beginning and joins us from the launch site, as you see. Mark, this is good because we just got a message from their sister Christina. They're all on board. And this came through the loudspeaker. She says this to her brothers: "Now hurry up and get your asses back down here." That's her words. "So I can give you a huge hug. We love you."
Nothing like the love of a sister.
Nothing like the love of a sister.
Yeah.
So what's the significance of this flight? Because we've seen SpaceX go up. We've seen Richard Branson last week, and now today, Blue Origin.
Well, first of all, for the 4 folks on board, I mean, what a moment, right?
Yes.
For Jeff Bezos, his dream since he was 5.
Yes.
He gets to bring his brother as his wingman, right? I mean,
his wingman and best friend.
His wingman and best friend, and then you have Wally Funk, who's proofs that a dream deferred is not a dream denied. She's finally getting the chance 60 years after she probably should have gone. Now she gets to go up because she got the invitation from Jeff Bezos. And, you know, we've been joking about the prom and Oliver Damon, but, I mean, what do you do for a second act when you've been to space at 18, right? I mean, it's hard to think about. But it's, I mean, beyond, like, the personal experiences of these 4 guys, this is an important milestone for commercial space, for this nascent industry of space tourism. It's largely unregulated to encourage innovation. the only grown-up supervision is really coming from the companies themselves.
Yeah.
They have to get it right, and Blue Origin thinks they're ready.
Yeah, they seem ready. You told me yesterday there's nothing like it. You've covered these many times. And I have to say, I've never been to a rocket launch, just watched it at home. I was excited watching it in my pajamas. You're right. There's nothing like it. It'll be over our shoulders. We're 3 miles away from the site. Doug Dunbar of our Dallas-Fort Worth station, that's KTVT, is in Van Horn, Texas. That's where we are, just 6 miles from the launch site. Doug, good to see you. I'm told that you know 82-year-old Wally Funk, and you met with her last week. She has a ton of flight experience and was even part of NASA's Mercury 13 program, but she hasn't yet made it to space. Today, she is finally going to get her chance. We are all so excited for her. What did she tell you she's most excited about? Which, by the way, Doug, let me tell you this. As you know, she's 82. She told us yesterday on CBS This Morning she feels like she's 24. And Jeff Bezos told us that she's got more energy than anybody on that crew. I believe that.
Listen, both the Bezos brothers are finding out this morning after 2.5 days with Wally Funk. They're exhausted. They're ready to lay back in those seats and go take a nice, relaxing flight. Because, as she put it yesterday, she is a 24-year-old in an 82's body. She's the quintessential grandmother who can outlast the kids in the backyard. We share a friendship. We share a mutual love of aviation. I respect this woman so much for everything she's laid down, not just for space and flight and aviation and history, but doing so much of that as a woman, especially back in the 1960s when they weren't accepted as we know that. And, Gail, I can tell you the genuine feeling for Wally Funk is hope and admiration. This woman runs at 3,000 RPM when she's in idle, so there's a lot to do to keep up with her. Yeah. And this will tell you kind of everything you need to know, to be honest. That is, after the Bezos video on Instagram, when he knocked at her door, she didn't expect him. She didn't know who it was when he knocked. But when all was said and done, they're in the room together, and Bezos has his film crew with him. And then he says, Wally, I'd love to take you to lunch. Where would you like to go? What's your favorite place? And Wally says, I'd love to go to Pancake House. That's my jam. And they call, and apparently they're just about to close.
Oh, gosh.
So Bezos says to Wally, well, Wally, instead of that, can I take you to Saltgrass, which for those who may not know, it's a steakhouse. And then Wally leans in, and this is the quintessential classic Wally. She leans in and she says, Jeff, you understand that Saltgrass is expensive, and you have 5 people with you. And that tells you everything you need to know about Wally Funk. If she can lay that down to the richest guy on the planet. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, Doug, I love this woman. Thank you, Doug. Nora, isn't she really our type of girl? I'll go first. Yes, she is.
Yes, she is. And such a historic woman, and so that we can all look back about how women were denied the opportunity to go to space, even though they were more than qualified. We should mark that we are now just 3 minutes and 18 seconds away from launch of the Blue Origin New Shepard. And joining with me here is former NASA administrator and astronaut Charlie Bolden. And Charlie, you're the only one here that's actually been to space. In fact, spent almost nearly 700 hours. I mean, we've got a replica of what this will be like. Yeah. But explain the feeling of when you make it into space.
It's an overused word, awesome. I always describe it to kids as 2 senses. One is the sense of feel, which is just the constant change in the way that the body is impressed with, G when you lift off to 0 gravity when you're in space. But the most impressive thing is vision, is sight, seeing the planet from that perspective. And that's what the 4 people today are going to experience that other people on this planet have never had. Significance, by the way, of New Shepard is the name. It's named for Alan Shepard. And so it's a suborbital space flight, just like Alan Shepard's first flight. New Glenn, the next spacecraft, named in honor of Senator John Glenn, the first orbital flight for an American. So we should understand the perspective, the historical significance of the names of the spacecraft.
Well, not only that, but that this is just the first step for Jeff Bezos. So some have derided this as a billionaire's supersonic joyride. But this is more than that for Jeff Bezos. His long-term goal is more than just tourism, right, Bill?
Yeah, it really is. If you think about it, he really wants to get his foot in the door in every sector of the space economy, from suborbital space tourism all the way to, as Charlie said, the New Glenn rocket that'll launch satellites and eventually people into space. He'll be competing directly head-to-head with Elon Musk and SpaceX when he goes there. And as Charlie mentioned earlier, this rocket we're seeing today is using technology they're perfecting specifically for their lunar lander. The engines will be scaled up for use on the New Glenn as well as a lunar lander down the road. So, yeah, this is just a precursor for Mr. Bezos of what he really wants to do.
Let's take a look at the live pictures now, because we are just about 1 minute from launch. And Gail, I know you have some questions too for Bill.
I do, Bill. I'm wondering what you think, how much pressure the Blue Origin team must be feeling. You know, in the town, they're very grateful. They've been working on this for 10 years. We saw somebody that said, listen, we became millionaires working on this project. How much pressure do you think they're feeling at this moment, the Blue Origin team?
I think the pressure's there, but I think they're so focused on what they're doing because there are lives involved now as well as the future of their company. So they're very, very focused. The pressure's there, but I don't think it's bothering them at all.
30 seconds till launch, Gail. I'm trying to sound like the flight commander there. T-minus 30 seconds. I mean, I guess I want to ask Charlie and Bill, what are we going to see here, you know? Well,
you're going to see ignition here in about 20 some odd seconds. So you'll see what's a really, it's a clean burning engine, and they'll lift off, as Bill said earlier. They'll be going 3 times the speed of sound pretty quickly.
Let's listen.
I actually want to see
6, 5, 4. Command engine start. 2, 1. Feet. 30,000 feet, Mach 1.
I want to bring back in Bill Harwood, and let's describe what we're seeing, because we are about 1 minute and 40 seconds into flight. Something significant will happen in the next minute.
That's right. You can still see the flame of that BE-3 engine that's powering the spacecraft up, Nora, getting it up to more than 3 times the speed of sound. In just a few moments, that engine's going to shut down. It'll coast briefly, and then the capsule itself will separate. So we'll stand by and see how that goes. But so far, it looks, as they say, nominal, which you and I would say normal.
And of course, the engine, or the booster, the lower part of this spacecraft, will separate, as you mentioned. That will essentially free fall back to Earth, and the capsule will go over the Kármán line. Explain the significance of the Kármán line.
That is the internationally recognized boundary of space, if you will, where aerodynamic surfaces like fins, things like that, no longer have an effect. The rocket also goes up that high before it comes back down on its own. But it takes the capsule longer. They'll descend and throw their parachutes out to make their landing. I think the engine, yeah, we're getting right upon separation, just momentarily.
New Shepard is expected to reach an altitude of more than 340,000 feet and be fully in space, officially making all of them on board astronauts. Do you think we'll be able to see the separation?
Yeah, we're watching. It's blurry, but you'll be able to see 2 objects here momentarily.
And Gail, I have to ask you, just to be able to see it in person, what was it like?
Oh my gosh, Nora. I don't even know why you get so emotional watching it. I think because you know that there are 4 human beings on board. You know how excited they are. But to watch it go up, we all just started cheering and clapping. You know, you're just looking at the plume of smoke. You know, I'm curious to see the separation because I'm told, Bill, that shortly after that, the weightlessness will begin pretty soon.
Yeah, weightlessness begins right at separation, Gail, and we're hearing the crew on board the capsule right now. I heard Bezos talk about looking out the window and what a fantastic view it was.
Let's hear. Can we hear them?
Oh, yeah. Ready? Woo-hoo! Here it comes. All my instincts are fine. Okay, I'm going to start back. Woo-hoo! Okay. I'm here to got it. You just have to wait for it. You want the Skittles? Oh, yeah.
And Gail, I'm looking too online. There are people saying a woman has done it, you know, and an 82-year-old Wally Funk.
I know.
Yeah.
And you know what? You just hear
1 minute warning. 1 minute warning.
I hear a lot of cheering and woohoo! I hear a lot of that. I mean, Nora, can you think of a better group to go up with than Wally Funk, an 18-year-old Jeff Bezos and his brother, who is really today seeing a dream come true?
Absolutely. I mean, what an incredible group. Each of them marking a milestone with this trip and proving anybody could go to space, just about anybody. And I want to just, though, Bill, ask what we're seeing right now.
Yeah, you're seeing the booster and the capsule have separated. That is a view from a camera on board the rocket as it starts its way down. On the right, we're seeing the capsule at the top and the booster at the bottom. They're above the Kármán line. They've made it to what's internationally recognized as space, and it's obvious the crew's having a fantastic time.
And so, Charlie, are they in weightless gravity right now?
They're in weightlessness right now, so they'll go across the top, as Bill has described, and they'll do this parabolic flight and then start back down. It'll be a while before they start to experience gravity again, so they've got a little while now. If they had experiments on board, they would be hustling right now trying to get them done.
So they've unbuckled their seatbelts.
I think the 1 minute call that we heard a few seconds ago was a 1 minute warning to them that they're about a minute away from being allowed to unbuckle so they can
strapping back in as we speak.
So they'll let them do that. My guess is 2 or 2.5 minutes, and then say, okay, get back in your seat. And here we go.
Listen.
Can Charlie hear me?
Yes, I can.
Charlie,
Gail.
hear me?
I can hear you, Gail.
Hey, Charlie. Yeah, there are 6 seats. We were on board yesterday. I mean, I thought the capsule was pretty roomy considering what I thought it would look like inside. There are 6 seats. There are only 4 people on board, as you know, right now. Do they have to choreograph when they get up there? Because these are all full-grown people. Do they have to do some kind of... Because once you're weightless, you're just sort of free-floating.
Well, Nora, Bill, and I were discussing that a little bit earlier. That's they do choreograph, and they know that there's a handle that goes around the circumference, the inside circumference of the crew module, so that they can grasp that, so that they're not out of control. What you're seeing now is the landing coming down, which is absolutely phenomenal. So this is a powered landing where the vehicle goes back right, not very far from where it launched a few 7.5 minutes ago. So you know, this is the end for the
Charlie.
Yes.
Charlie, can you just explain that big boom we heard to let people know that's supposed to happen?
That's the vehicle going back through the sound barrier, so it's going from being supersonic to subsonic. And you heard the sonic boom. That's like shuttle coming back. You hear the boom boom because of the shape of the wing. So they get a single sonic boom.
And Bill, we're seeing now this capsule that's returning also back to Earth.
That's right, and they're beginning to feel the G's building up. The atmosphere really slows them down as they come down to the denser region of the atmosphere. We're going to see 3 drogue chutes. 3 small chutes are going to pop out of that capsule to kind of stabilize it and slow it down, followed by the 3 main parachutes. It can safely land with just 2. They would survive a landing with just 1. So it's a very well-tested system. And there go the drogue chutes as we speak.
Oh, there goes the chute.
And so when they actually hit Earth, it's slowed down. It's going to be a small bump, but the seats that we saw Gail sitting in this morning on CBS this morning, there's plenty of cushion.
Yeah, and they have rockets that actually fire to soften the landing a little bit. They fire just before touchdown, relatively gentle.
And Nora, the parachutes have now come out. That slows the capsule's descent to about 16 miles an hour. As Charlie said, when those rockets, the thrusters fire just before touchdown, it slows them down to about 1 mile an hour when they actually hit the ground.
Gail, you can see it, right?
That's spectacular. Yes, you know, Nora, this is so funny. I'm bending down, Nora, I'm bending down looking at the monitor, and Mark Strassman said, Gail, turn around. You can see it in person. God, you get so caught up watching it. Turn around. You can see it for yourself.
Oh, and
it's
Gail,
spectacular. It's spectacular.
And we can see, I know they didn't bring a lot of tourists there to watch, but people have camped up to watch it in person, and you can see kids there jumping up and down and people to watch what is really this historic flight by Jeff Bezos and the whole Blue Origin crew.
We were talking to people in the town yesterday. I'm telling you, I couldn't find one person that wasn't excited about this happening. Number one, they love all the attention that's coming to Van Horn. The people here are very nice, very welcoming, and they said, we just hope it continues. Listen, this is the first of many flights. Something tells me it is going to continue here in Van Horn, Texas. It's about to land. It's about to land. Oh, so it slows down. Mark, what is it slowing down to?
And I see a drone up there, of course, filming it.
16 miles.
And you're going to see the thrusters fire, and then it will slow down to 1 mile per hour.
Okay.
And just sort of gently land.
So you heard what Mark just said. It's going to slow down to...
And touchdown.
That was slow?
We're told...
Touchdown.
And we're told just an incredible moment.
Oh, my God.
Welcome back to Earth.
Charlie, since you are an astronaut and been in space, Gail, Charlie just breathed a huge sigh of relief.
Oh, my God.
I can relax now.
I know, me too. Me too.
This is incredible, to be quite honest.
Oh, my gosh.
You know, 10 years ago, I think there were not very many people who thought we would see this. Bill and I were commenting earlier about both of our skepticism. This is really exciting, and I think it's a great start.
What does it mean for the future of not only space tourism, but Americans and our return to space and what we'll use space for in the future?
It means that we, as we're learning, we can send quote-unquote normal people. So instead of having to rely on a trained astronaut to do research in space, we can send a qualified researcher, you know, people who understand the things that they want to do to make life better here on Earth, whether it's researching for vaccines or trying to make a material that's going to be stronger than anything else we've ever seen, or miniaturize something. So it's really important.
Let's listen to their reaction from inside.
Hey, Charlie.
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead and remain in your seats. Crew member 7 is on their way. Shortly, you will hear the capsule off-gassing.
Okay, I just want to hear this for a second. But then I have a question for Charlie. Charlie, why should normal people want to go into space? You know, there's so much tisk about the billionaires who are doing this, vanity projects. Could you really explain why this is so important? You touched on it briefly with Nora. This is so much bigger than what I think people really realize what is happening here.
It really is, Gail, and normal people should want to go in space for a number of reasons. Some of them have technical reasons to want to go because we know that we can do things in the microgravity environment of space that we can't do here on Earth. So we need to be able to send people who can do the first-hand research, who can do the technological developments of things that are going to make life better here on Earth. Whether it be weather satellites or whether it's medical instrumentation or what. But we also need to have people like you and Nora who can come back and tell you're good at communicating. And we need people who can write books and write songs and you know, talk about this incredible view of Earth from that vantage point. And there have been, you know, about 500 people who have had the opportunity to do that. And it really does make a difference in how we view our planet.
Well, Charlie, I have to say, we have never
Jeff
met, but I
Bezos.
will never do that. But Nora might, because she really likes this kind of thing. I'm very safe right here on the ground.
That's true. That's true. Let's listen in now to Jeff Bezos and the crew. Just so excited. Jeff Bezos just said, the best day ever. Let's listen.
Best day ever.
The audio is breaking up, and we'll get more footage later in the day from inside the capsule and from others, of course, and that will be communicated. Hopefully we'll have more of it tonight on the evening news and then tomorrow with Gail on CBS This Morning. I want to bring in Alan Ladwig. He is the Star Harbor Space Academy Executive Vice President for Communications and a former NASA executive, and also the author of See You in Orbit, Our Dream of Spaceflight. And Alan, your reaction seeing this successful space tourism flight?
Well, this is the fulfillment of a dream for millions of people. It began in the 1920s when people wrote to Robert Goddard volunteering to fly on his theoretical rocket. I used to get thousands of letters from people in the mid-1980s for the Spaceflight Participant Program when we did the Teacher in Space and Journalists in Space. Then started to open up the aperture for who could get to go. Space Shuttle opened that first, and now the private sector is taking the next important step. We've been waiting a long time, and I think now that it's happening, we'll forget about how long it took.
Thank you so much. And we are seeing now they are about to open the capsule and allow the passengers out. I mean, it's incredible that it's virtually intact and almost no damage done to the capsule after this flight. I'm also just thinking, too, Gail, as we watch them get out of the capsule, there must be not only a sense of just joy of being part of this historic mission, but relief that it all went safely.
Oh, my gosh. Listen. We all feel relief. Nobody wanted to see anything unpleasant happen here today, and it certainly has not. Doug Dunbar of our Dallas-Fort Worth affiliate, that's KTVT, is just a few miles away with someone who just watched the successful space flight for the very first time. Hey, Doug, let's talk about your girl, Wally Funk, for a second. She did it, she did it, she did it. What are they saying over there?
My heart was in my throat this whole time for Wally, Gail, and for everybody on board, but with the personal relationship. Yeah. The one thing I will point out to you, you heard the same thing I did, and that is when they jettisoned from the rocket, the first voice you heard inside the capsule was that of Wally, and I could hear her, and I just knew in my heart the minute they entered the fun zone, Funk was out of the straps and calling everybody out, both Bezos brothers and Oliver, and said, let's dance and let's have fun.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see who got out of the seat first, but something tells me you could be right. You have somebody with you, a little person who watched this too?
Well, I got to tell you, there were hoots and hollers. There are hundreds of people along Highway 54. There's a roadblock here. This is as close as we can get. This is Theodore Hervey. And out of all the hoots and hollers, yours was the loudest, kid. So first, high five for an awesome launch today. Yeah, how many devices did you record this with?
I recorded it with my iPad and my iPhone.
And just tell us in a nutshell, why so excited? Why does this get you so thrilled?
Because it can, it's basically an opportunity for our next generation.
Do you see yourself maybe one day doing what you just saw?
Yes, sir. Maybe, yes.
Buddy, let's hope and pray, man. High five, Theodore. Way to go. Gail, a lot of excitement out here and among the youngest, and one can argue this is the generation we're trying to inspire.
I know, Doug, this little person watched the way that Jeff Bezos watched when he was a little child. You're looking at the capsule. It's landed. You can see Jeff there in the window. They're about to come out. We really don't want to be talking when they're coming out because I want to hear anything that they have to say. But it looks like I hear Wally still going, thank you, thank you. There's
thank
Jeff.
You, Dad. Thank you.
There's Jeff. Did he say thank you, Dad?
No, that was a little kid who was talking.
Oh, a little kid who was talking. Oh, okay. Okay, I saw Jeff just give a thumbs up there in the window. They went up, they came back, they're safe and sound, and they look very happy. Look at that smile on Jeff.
Look great.
Yeah. What do you have to say, Mark Strassman? You predicted this. You said, yeah, they're ready, and they were certainly ready. Blue Origin.
It sure looks like it went picture perfect. The way that Blue Origin wanted it to, the way they were confident that it would go, the way that Jeff Bezos had dreamed it would go since he was 5 years old, watching watching Apollo 11 land on the moon. I mean, you heard him say this is the greatest day ever. I mean, it really is the realization of a dream.
Yeah.
I mean, I think all business considerations aside, this is a personal moment for this guy. And let's face it, he leads a large life. And for him to say, this is the best day ever, it's the best day ever.
Best day ever.
Yeah.
Charlie, I don't know if you can still hear us, but what takes so long to open the damn door?
Oh, it's not long at all. I was sitting here commenting to myself that, you know, technologically, the fact that they're using clean propellants, the fact that there is no, you know, coming out of shuttle, it was an hour just trying to make sure it was safe around the vehicle. And so this is incredible. But to see the little kid, that's been the highlight for me today.
That is what happiness and jubilation looks like, guys. There's Jeff Bezos, his brother Mark. They each have 4 children. Wally Funk is there, and Oliver Damon, who's 18, being greeted by family and friends.
They, too, just as excited to see them back on solid ground safely as their family and close friends all there with them. And, you know, Gail, we should note the feather that's the symbol of Blue Origin is a symbol of the perfection of flight. And that's what today was for this company that has been working on this for decades in order to achieve this historic moment. A day for celebration for this
What a good feeling, Nora.
Entire crew. And I just want to talk to Bill and Charlie here because I'm struck, to recognize this moment and what they have achieved and what it could mean for future people who want to experience the same moment. It'll cost you $200,000 at least at some point. They're saying these types of flights. Very, very expensive to do this. But it's also a continuum. And Jeff Bezos told me that we are essentially slowly destroying the Earth, and that heavy machinery, other things will need to move to other planets in order to save Earth from climate change and other things, that's the future in 50, 100 years from now that he imagines in his mind.
He's talking about production off the planet. We use the term zero mass launches, where you use a very small spacecraft to take the feedstock, whether it's powder or ribbons, and you use 3D printing to print what's going to be the components for a rocket that's going to go to Mars. So you don't do it on Earth and need a vehicle like we launched today, and we take the feedstock. You do it on orbit or you do it on the surface of the moon. That's the kind of stuff that Jeff is progressing to. And when you look at everybody standing around that vehicle right now, we would not have been doing that, you know, in the space shuttle era, because there's all kinds of noxious fumes and stuff that came out of our vehicles. He's into, you know, reusable, energy efficient, environmentally safe. So that's the wave of the future.
And there's the champagne.
Yeah. Bill and Charlie, if you guys can hear me, you know, the Blue Origin motto is step by step ferociously. I think this is pretty ferocious what they're doing right now, don't you?
It's ferocious, and you hit the nail on the head when you said step by step. That's been Jeff Bezos' philosophy. I remember the first time I met him many years ago when he came into my office to explain why Blue Origin was not going to get involved in the bidding for NASA funding for commercial space. And he said, I want to go at my own pace. I don't want to have artificial pressures on me and my team. We're going to fly when we're ready, because the first people to fly are going to be my son and me, he said at that time, which just, it made me tear up, to be quite honest, because he's got it. He understands it, and step by step by step. So next thing is New Glenn, you know, several years down the road, but this is a big day. It's a big day for the country. Everybody says it's a big day for Blue Origin. That's true. It's a huge day for America. Only in America could you see this. And we need to understand that. We need to get a grip.
And I can tell, Gail, Charlie here is a little emotional saying that, only in America. And explain what you mean by that, the innovation that we champion here.
It's because of who we are, because we believe in an idea. The president talks about this all the time. This nation is founded on an idea. We're not there yet. It's a long trek to get to where all men are created equal. All those other, to see that to see the young black boy there, excited. That answered the question for people who say, "Why the heck are we doing this?" If it didn't answer it for you, you don't understand. You don't get it.
Oh, I love that you said that, because there have been many critics out there that are saying, oh, this is a billionaire's joyride. But it's much more than that. It's much more than that, not only for this country, but the future of science and space and inspiring young people.
Inspiring kids to not want to sit on the corner and shoot people is important. Nora, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Gail.
Nora and Charlie. I wanted to pick up on what Nora said about the billionaire's joyride, because people say this, and not to be Debbie Downer, but they say there are so many problems down here on Earth that we should be addressing, that they should be addressing. We're spending all of this money in space to go to space, and to what end? I think you've articulated it very well, but I wish you could put a button on it about why this truly matters.
Yeah, not to make light of this, and people will criticize what I'm about to say. The young man sitting there, excited as he was, that's one less black kid on a corner somewhere getting ready to use a weapon. It is really, really, really important. For us to inspire young people, we have to inform them. There were no black kids standing around when Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin went to the moon. We weren't a part of that. We are today. Women weren't a part of that. They are today. So this is a huge day for the nation. And, we need. The unfortunate thing is that Congress didn't take a time out and turn on the TVs and watch this. They need to understand that the things they're discussing right now are critically important.
And it's not a new criticism. I mean, certainly with the John F. Kennedy, and Bill, you can address that. Historically, people wondered why we were spending billions to go to space.
The one comment, and I thought Charlie was going to say this, not one dime has ever been spent in space. Every dollar that's ever been spent has been spent right here in the United States, paying talented aerospace engineers and scientists creating and all jobs. That. I'll be the skeptic at the table. I agree with everything Charlie said about this, how significant it is. I would just add the word potentially to it. It's not clear to me that this will work as a business model long term. How many people are going to be willing to pay that much money for a 10-minute flight? Even if NASA puts astronauts on board, which they're talking about doing, government researchers, things like that, it's not clear to me that this market can support two companies, Virgin Galactic with Richard Branson and Blue Origin with Jeff Bezos. I certainly hope it can, but that's an unknown right now, and we need to keep that in mind.
But also the world's richest man, who's worth $200 billion, may not need to turn a profit for his company.
Oh, that's very true.
Which is a privately held company. And he's able to write off his profits on his losses that I'm just saying, to speak as a capitalist and understand the U.S. tax code system, he can write off his losses. Gail, you were going to say something.
Yeah, I just want to follow up on what Charlie said for just a second, that it means one less black kid on the corner. I don't want anybody to think or believe that all black kids are just hanging out on a corner. I think it's inspiration for everybody. But I get the point that you're making, that it gives other people other options that they could see. I just really wanted to clean that up, because I'm sitting here going, no, Charlie, no. No, Charlie, no. I know what you were trying to say. But I don't want that left hanging on the air as I'm sitting here listening to you.
No, I understand fully.
I know.
You're absolutely
I'm not
right.
criticizing, just making an observation. But I do think that it's exciting. Listen, I'm sitting here as a black woman. I'm not going to tell you that I'm a space geek, because I'm certainly not. But I was sitting here with Mark getting very emotional, and I don't even know where it's coming from, just because I see how big this is and how important this is and how dangerous it is, and that they pulled it off. I'm just so relieved for all of us.
Yeah, you don't quite understand the the power of this moment until you're here in person.
Yes,
you can watch it on
right.
TV
You're
and
right.
sure it's exciting, which is why when you were watching the monitor, I was like, Gail, turn around, right? Like, it's so much more spectacular this direction,
you're so right.
Yeah, and
I know,
it really
Nora,
is.
that was kind of a duh moment, because that's the whole reason why we're here.
Well, I think, yeah, I totally agree with you. And I think, you know, I remember in talking to Jeff Bezos, because we talked to him previously on the anniversary of the Apollo 11 landing. Remember that at that time, there were hundreds of millions of people that watched that. And so this moment, too, I can see even on Twitter, people saying, I just watched this with my son, with my daughter, with my kids. That kind of moment that we haven't seen, that hopeful moment that many people have been missing, perhaps, in the past couple of years, that America can do something incredibly inspirational. And I want to bring back in Alan Ladwig, who's with us, who has written a book about space tourism and has followed this, of course, the inspirational moment that this creates.
Exactly. This has inspired people for generations. We saw that throughout the space shuttle missions, 135 missions. And now we're going to see the inspiration that this causes again. People want to go for the adventure, the spiritual fulfillment, the fame, seek a higher purpose. One of my favorite quotes was from a Russian cosmonaut who said, "Those who fly in space feel differently and become sick with a global philosophy and terrible case of cosmic views." Let's hope that these future flights continue in that evolutionary spiral.
Well said, Alan. Thank you. And Bill, we're watching, if you're seeing, we're watching a highlight reel, which Blue Origin has already turned around, of the best moments, essentially, from this morning. This quick, there's the launch, of course, of New Shepard for the first ever suborbital flight with a crew. The joy felt by Sarah Knight there, who, of course, was in charge of communications, and then the landing of the rocket portion, which really, that in itself, right, is a remarkable feat. And the capsule, again, with the 3 parachutes all deployed correctly, as though you've noted, though, they tested it. They could land with just one and still be safe. There were many redundancies, as they say, that's the word, or many abilities to land this safely, even if something went wrong. They had plotted all out with 15 different flights without a crew in order to make sure this was totally safe. And there, the celebration. Wow, they turned this video quickly.
And Nora, just for the record, they hit 66.5 miles. So they were 3 miles above the Kármán line, as we talked about. So very definitely a space flight, for the record.
And was that higher than Richard Branson's team?
Absolutely. The Virgin Galactic plane doesn't exceed 60 miles at best. They're usually in the mid-50s.
But intended to be. It's a rocket.
Yeah, it's a rocket in space,
plane.
either way.
Yeah. Well, because there has been, not to get too technical, some back and forth between Richard Branson's team and Jeff Bezos' team about whether Richard Branson's team actually achieved a suborbital flight.
They achieved what NASA calls a suborbital flight into space, as the FAA does and the U.S. Air Force. So I think it's a trivial argument, and I don't think anybody on board either spacecraft would be able to tell the difference.
I more than second that.
Gotcha.
Let's forget about it. There is no argument.
I hear you. All right, Gail.
I wanted to talk a little bit with Charlie and Bill there about the training, because I was very fascinated about this. You know, it's so different. Nora, you said earlier it proves that just about anybody can go, because really all you're doing is riding. And they said you have to be in reasonably good health. The requirements were this: your height between 5 feet and 6'4", your weight between 110 and 223, be able to dress yourself in a one-piece zip flight suit, be able to fasten and unfasten your harness in 15 seconds, be able to hold it by not going to the bathroom in, say, 90 minutes, be able to understand commands in English. But, Nora, this is where I thought of you. And this is where I had to drop out of the race, where it says, be able to climb the New Shepard launch tower. Nora, it's the equivalent of 7 flights of stairs in less than 90 seconds.
Okay, you can do that, Gail.
I know, Nora, guys.
You can do that, Gail.
No, I can't. No, I can't.
Yes, you can.
Guys
I saw
at the
your
table,
Instagram
Nora's a
feed.
runner.
You've been training.
No, I was hiking at Malibu Ranch where I was a caboose. No, I couldn't, but I thought Nora could do that. But I wanted to talk to you guys about the training, how different the training is compared to what you were saying about anybody who's reasonably healthy could go. So that really does open the door to a lot of people that might not have considered it, which I think is a good thing.
The advantage that commercial spaceflight gives us is that you don't, in NASA, we figure out what can go wrong and what is the extreme of what can go wrong, and we train to that. That's not necessary in this case. You figure out what is the minimum amount that someone needs to be trained to fly safely, and that's what they do. And Virgin decided that it was about a week. These guys decided it was a couple of days, and we've seen from this first flight that it seems to be adequate. And that's the difference between, that's what's going to get the cost down, to be quite honest, is doing what is absolutely necessary to stay safe, but not going to the extreme of wanting to be able to deal with all possibilities or all things that can go wrong. That's not the place for a crew like this. A crew that's got to fly a vehicle and keep it in space for a week, that's different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We should also note, Gail, too, a little bit about Wally Funk, 82 years old. 3 years before Jeff Bezos was born, she was part of the Women in Space program with 12 other women who had trained as part of the Mercury 13. They were denied that opportunity, and she applied to NASA twice in 1962 for the Gemini missions, and again in 1966 when she was told that she would not be going to space. She said about the 60 years trying to get into space, she said, I was brought up that when things don't work out, you go to your alternative. And thus she became a successful pilot, training thousands and thousands of people to fly. And as we've witnessed, look at her there hugging Jeff Bezos, that her enthusiasm, her attitude are absolutely infectious, and that has brought her to this historic moment today. And that's why she's a personal hero for many people.
Not a lot of people on the planet with 20,000 hours of flight time.
What's the first thing you said?
No, everybody says, Nora, and guys at the table, everybody says that she is the real deal. I love the fact that she never, ever gave up. In fact, Mark told us that she had signed up to go on a Virgin flight, the next one, and then this opportunity presented itself. Doug Dunbar of our Dallas-Fort Worth affiliate, that's KTVT, knows Wally. And Doug, last time you were here, you said that when Jeff Bezos knocked on the door, did she not know who he was, or she didn't know he was coming? I'm just curious.
Yeah, well, as she tells the story, she said, I didn't know who it was at the door, and as things begin unfolding, then she realizes, oh my gosh, here comes the trip to space. And you know what, just a nugget to dovetail off what Nora was talking about. With that Mercury 13 program, the other thing Wally is very quick to point out was, yes, I was in the Mercury 13. Yes, I outscored all the ladies, but I also outscored all of the men in the program. So Wally Funk wants to make sure that you know that as well.
Like that.
For that 6 decades, she has been waiting now for this opportunity today.
Hey, Doug, do you happen to know if she carried something special with her up today when she went to space? Did she have a little memento?
Well, my understanding, Gail, is that if it's parsed among all 4 of them, they each maybe had a little pouch or something of that nature where they could take something that was of importance to them, maybe it's a family member's picture, things like that, up into space today. And the short answer for me is yes. I visited with her a couple of times last week before she took off, and she's well aware of my passion for the cancer fight. Lost my mom to cancer a few years ago. I've raised a lot of money to help the effort. But what's most important to me is this key ring of photographs, and it has all my honored heroes on there. There's probably 20 to 25 photographs on there right now, some still with us and some who have departed, but Wally wanted to honor each of them as she got into the weightlessness of space today in the Edge, and reach out to them and send their love not only up there but also to the warriors down here who have fought hard and won the battle. So it's a bit of a personal note, but at the same time there are other items that she took up, and my guess would be, and I don't want to assume, but my guess would be that each of those on board today had some things that were probably fairly close to them in family and in their hearts and in spirit that they took with them today on this historic journey.
There's no doubt about that. Thank you so much, Doug. Listen, Nora, they're already handing out, they're just handing out these special water bottles. It says natural spring water. You see the logo. It says best used by 6/7/23. It's cold. I've already tasted it. It already tastes good. So I will be bringing this back. This is what I'm bringing from space, a bottle of water.
Gail, can you get me one? Gail, will you save me one, please? I want one.
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Already done.
Okay, good. Thank you, sweetie.
Already done.
Thank you. And of course, it's got that feather on it, which I love, which is the Blue Origin feather, the symbol of the perfection of flight. And Charlie Bolden, it's been such a pleasure talking to you as the only one here who's actually been to space. You've been NASA administrator, a Marine for how many years?
34.
Yeah, I mean, just
still, but
such an incredible career that you have had. And I know you're emotional today watching this because it means so many great things.
Big deal.
Very big deal.
Big deal for the country.
What's your hope?
My hope is that we'll continue this gradual trek, our pursuit for the perfect union. That's most important to me right now. So that doesn't have anything to do with space flight and all that kind of stuff, but it's really important. We've got to live up to this.
And does it matter that it's now private companies that are doing this and not the U.S. government?
It does matter, to be quite honest, and what it does is it means that the U.S. government can devote more assets, more resources to doing the things that only the government can do. So exploration is really risky, and that's where the government should lead. We don't need to be providing the train or the plane or the rocket ship to get people and things to space, because the private sector has demonstrated very, very well. They can get things, they can get people. NASA, you go off and you do the exploration lead, and we'll bring up the rear. And so that's what, once again, we demonstrated that today, and people have been saying that for quite some time.
And Charlie, if Jeff Bezos called you said, you will go. Okay, there we go.
My wife is probably going, what the hell is he talking about?
You heard it, Gail. Charlie wants to go. Yeah.
Nora, that is so funny. I was just saying, I was going to ask Charlie that exact same question. If they came to you and said, we want you to go, you would go. I want to know what your kids and your family would say about that, Charlie.
Because
I'd be thinking, I don't know, Dad, not now.
I'm in trouble with my wife and my kids, but I'd go.
Yes. Why would you go? Tell me, why would you go?
Once you've been to space, you want to go back. You don't want to stay there forever. That's where I disagree with people who talk about colonizing and all this kind of stuff. It is an experience that once you've had it, you want to do it regularly, to be quite honest. And I want to be able to be an example to people. I promised John Glenn before he passed that once I got to be 77, so I've got 2 more years, that I would try to provide one more data point of a near octogenarian. So it would be John Glenn, Wally Funk, and Charlie Bolden in the data points.
You know what? As Gail and I both know, once you put that thought out into the universe, it can come true. That's the first step in getting what you want. Charlie, I know you have to go, but what a pleasure to have you. Former NASA administrator, former astronaut, former Marine for 3 decades. Yeah, such a pleasure. And maybe now a future returnee to space. Gail, we heard it here first.
Yes. Very nice to meet you, Charlie. Very nice.
Good to meet you, Gail. Take care.
All right, and let's bring in Mr. Ladwick, who joins us again. And Alan, this morning, I think so many people, you've seen kind of the expression of both joy and even as Charlie just did, even a little bit of tears because of what this moment means for those who may want to engage in space tourism, but also what it may mean on a commercial side.
Yes, and there was talk earlier about is going to be a mass market for this. It's been predicted that by 2027, we could have a $1.7 billion space tourism industry. So that's a great step in the right direction. It remains to be seen how many people will be able to sign up. But Virgin already has 600, and I have no doubt that after today, people will be banging on the doors of Blue Origin to go. So it's important that the commercial sector is taking this on. It was never NASA's goal or business to fly tourists. So I'm so happy to see that the dreams of millions of people is finally being realized.
So, Alan, I didn't realize that. How many people have signed up for Virgin Galactic?
Over 600.
At $200,000 a pop.
200 to 250,000 because they raised the price. There is some rumors that they may raise it even higher to perhaps 300,000, and we still don't know what the price will be for Blue Origin.
Yeah. Well, I'm still thinking about the person that paid $28 million to get on that Blue Origin flight and then suddenly had a scheduling conflict. Like, who pays $28 million and then has a scheduling conflict?
He had
right,
a dental
Gail?
appointment.
Nora, that is so true. Nora, I'm very glad you did scheduling conflict in finger quotes. You know why? Because I'm thinking if you can afford to pay $28 million, you can afford to make sure you get the exact schedule that you want. So I'm always very curious about who he or she is. You know, that name, that person wishes to remain anonymous at this time. But the prices do sound so beyond the moon for most people. $28 million, that was for charity, we should say. That was for charity. But the 200 to 250,000, Alan, when do you think that it'll be? What do you think it will take to get the prices down that it's more affordable? And what's the definition of affordable for a space ride? What's that definition?
That's okay.
Alan, we were talking about the price, you know, and it's $28 million. That was for charity, we should say. The person that paid the $28 million was for charity. But you and Nora were just talking about the $200,000 to $250,000 price tag. Most people cannot afford that. So when do you think it will be affordable, and why does it cost so much? And what, Alan, is your definition of affordable to go into space?
Well, the long goal has always been $50,000. I've heard that for the past 20, 30 years. It's going to take a while to get there. Richard Branson said he wants to get it down to $40,000. That'll depend on how often they fly, if the market can hold, if they can sustain their operations, and if they can do it safely. So I'd say we're probably 10 years away from that kind of a price. I hope I'm proven wrong and that there's some growth that we don't know about yet in the efficiency of this. But we are now clearly in the pioneering phase, and it's going to be a while before we can go to the mass market phase.
All right.
Why does it cost so much, Alan? Why does it cost so much?
There's millions of dollars that were involved in the development of these engines, of the spacecraft, of the people involved in doing it. You know, it's still cheaper on a per-pound basis than we had with the space shuttle. There were predictions in the 70s that the shuttle would fly for $50 a pound. It never got anywhere near that. It was more like $10,000 a pound. So there's a lot of economic factors that go into this, and the only thing that'll bring it down is efficiency in operations and in turnaround ability and a large number of flights to spread the cost.
Thank you so much. I want to bring in Bill Harwood, and you've covered these space flights for 30 years, but this is different. How monumental is it?
It's a big step, but it's a first step. You know, you have to sustain this to see if it's going to develop into the business and what Charlie was talking about earlier, this long-range plan to commercialize space. I'm hopeful they can do that. They clearly have demonstrated they have the technology to do it. These are fantastic hardware. You know, I wouldn't have imagined this 10 years ago. But one thing, you know, we have to point out is, and Alan mentioned this, they've got to be able to do it safely, Nora. You know, as a commercial spacecraft carrying passengers, you know, you can't afford a mishap. Like we've seen in the past with rockets from time to time. It's a high-energy enterprise. So if they can do it safely, and if they can develop the marketplace, then I think it's a huge potential market, but it's a first step.
Bill Harwood, thank you. And on this, the 52nd anniversary of the Apollo 11 moon landing, which Jeff Bezos watched as a child and idolized Buzz Aldrin and, of course, Neil Armstrong, and today became an astronaut himself. The history just made in Texas. We all witnessed it together as Blue Origin's first rocket launch carrying people was a flawless mission that could be the start of a new era in space travel. Want to say thanks to Gail King in Van Horn, who will interview Jeff Bezos later today. Looking forward to that, Gail. Really excited to hear that interview.
Me too.
Yes,
Yeah.
and thanks to our correspondents, contributors, and guests. And for those of you on the West Coast, there's more coverage coming up on CBS This Morning, plus on our streaming network, CBSN, and your local news. Thanks for watching.
For news 24 hours a day, go to CBSNews.com.